Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I am a pediatric physical therapist. I'm here with Stacy Marks, and Stacy Marks is 37 years old, and she has spastic athetoid cerebral palsy, and she also has an incomplete C3-C4 spinal cord injury. Stacy asked me to come back to talk about mental health issues. She believes it's not discussed enough with people with cerebral palsy. So we were going to talk some more.
Yeah.
So there are things that are underlying conditions that help contribute to someone having mental health issues, that is specifically as it relates to people who have cerebral palsy. So there are four of them that we're going to talk about. One is unaddressed pain. Can you tell me, do you have pain in your body now?
I have chronic pain in my shoulder, and recently that has been what has been my biggest pain source, and I've had struggles with that. And it's related somewhat to my CP.
And has it gotten worse as you've gotten older, or does it change with your mental health? Like as your shoulder pain gets worse, your mental health gets worse, or tell me?
I do think when it's more pain, it makes me frustrated, and I think it's going to last forever, so that can be a struggle with that pain. Now it's improved some because I have been going to physical therapy for my shoulder specifically, so that's helped me some.
I'm so glad. I do think the research says that individuals with cerebral palsy tend to develop pain over their lives, and if that's unaddressed, then that impacts people's mental health, and it sounds like you've found that to be true for you as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Does your pain affect your sleep? Because they said sleep issues is also one of the things that can contribute to mental health difficulties.
More or less sometimes, but not specifically.
Disrupted sleep, I think you mentioned before, when you're having a really hard time, that your difficulties with sleep kind of snowballed into worse mental health issues. Did you want to discuss that?
Sure, I can go a little in depth about that. So with me personally, when I was staying at a psychological hospital, a residential facility, I was on a specific medication that was very strong, and it was a very high dose, and it caused me to have a lot of strange physical symptoms and struggles with my sleep. And it made me feel like I was like no longer in my own body, like
Oh, wow.
Stacy had left the building.
Wow. And so that feels like that would affect not just your sleep, but your whole feeling of yourself, especially if you felt like you weren't there anymore. Wow. That must have been debilitating.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big struggle for me. And it was somewhat that way for about 5 months of my life.
Wow, Stacy. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that you have been able to move through that. Can you tell me how fatigue affects your mental health, or do you have issues with fatigue?
Well, nowadays, I don't think it does, but sometimes if I'm really tired, I notice that my mind is not really functioning at the highest level that it could be, so I might feel sometimes in the afternoons I get really tired and my brain's not exactly doing what I want it to do. But I know that people with CP tend to run through energy a little bit quicker than able-bodied people, so.
Their movements tend to be less efficient, so it takes more energy to do the exact same thing that a typical bodied person
Yeah,
does.
so I got used to that growing up, having to expend more energy than normal people.
Right, and I also wonder, especially as adults with cerebral palsy, what I notice with my body is the more I do, the more energy I have. The more I exercise, the more I can do more. And this is just me projecting, but it would seem like it would be hard for you to exercise and move and get a good workout to be able to have more energy, if that makes any sense.
Usually, yeah, after a workout, I am completely exhausted.
How do you get your workouts in?
So once a week, I have a recurring appointment at a gym that specializes in people with spinal cord injuries, and I go for about 2 hours.
Wow. I'm so glad you have that option. And the last thing, oh,
Yeah. I want to get involved in more physical activities this summer and start going. And sorry, just clarifying. Start going to the gym maybe twice a week instead of once a week.
very good. And the last one that we were going to discuss is nutritional health. How do you feel what you eat affects your mental health?
Now or previously?
Both is fine.
Well, back then I was very thin because I didn't eat enough, but now I eat much more and I don't have as many problems, but I do have a severe sweet tooth. I always say I'm addicted to sugar, and so it's caused me to gain a lot of weight in recent years. And I can't move around as much because I do use a wheelchair, so that becomes an issue.
Because the heavier you get, it's hard for you to move anyway, would be my guess. And the more you weigh, the harder it is for you, not only for you to move, but it seems like
Yeah,
it would
definitely.
make it harder for other people to help move you. And I remember reading.
It depends on the person. It's varied between staff. It depends if they're really good and skilled at transferring. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but I have noticed with some staff that there have been more issues now that I'm heavier. And also, there's been some issues with safety, and I always have to be very strict with how I teach people to transfer so that I'm safe and don't have falls.
It's so good that you are able to advocate for yourself and explain. I always worry about people who are not as able to communicate.
Yeah, I know. That's a big struggle for me.
I remember reading this research study that said that individuals who were able to help with sit-to-stand transfers were moved into different equipment more frequently. That they were had more frequent diaper changes and positional changes. And so I would think again that as someone is heavier and less able to assist in their care, that less good care would be provided.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've noticed that personally, but.
Well, that's good. That's good. Those were the things that I wanted to talk through about conditions that affect people's mental health. I'm hoping this is helpful for people, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.